What's up, guys? Today we are talking about the Akkar Churchill 612. Let's start the show! I don't think you made it. Alright guys, so before I begin telling you about this gun, let me tell you a little bit about why I have it and how I got it. This is an Akkar Churchill 612. It's called the 612 because it's based on, from what I've gathered, the CZ 612, which is a budget version of CZ's shotgun. So this essentially is a knockoff of a budget version of a CZ shotgun. Going into like inception rounds of budget. It retails for about the same price as a Maverick 88. You know, you might be wondering, why do you have this instead of a Maverick 88? Well, the reason is because at the time that I purchased this, the Maverick 88 was not available in any store that I could find at all. It was 2020. There was a lot of stuff going on during that time, and I wasn't able to find a Mossberg that was in my price range. It was kind of in the mode of I want to get something sooner rather than later in case anything should happen. And I picked this guy up, and honestly I've been pretty pleased with it. Let me go over a little bit about the features of this gun. Now, starting at the back, you notice I've got this shotgun shell holder. That did not come with the gun. I put that on. It does come with this nice rubber butt pad. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. You're going to need that. It's got a synthetic stock steel construction. Right here is the loading gate, and you can push this if you've already pumped it to release it, and you just stick your shells up in there. This mag tube holds about 5+1 if you're talking about 2 3/4 inch shells. It can shoot 3-inch shells. It's chambered for 3-inch, but not 3.5 inch, so you don't want to throw any like Magnum shells in there. The barrel is 18.5 inches. You've got a regular, just standard bead sight right there that you can kind of line up in this little groove. So pretty easy sights to manage. I can already tell you the pump action is not as fast as, the Remington 870 or the Mossberg 500, but it gets the job done. It's fairly easy to disassemble. All you have to do is unscrew this, and this whole thing will pop off. You just remove your barrel, and now you can get out all of your internals and clean them and everything. The 18.5 inch barrel makes it pretty good for home defense. You can still get around most tight corners pretty easily. It's not going to be the best option, obviously, but it can certainly do the job. Now, that shorter barrel does mean that it's going to spread out a lot faster. If you're going for something that you want to use for hunting, might not be the best option. But for just home defense or just for plinking out here, shooting clays and stuff, it works just fine. There was another one in there. I figured I might as well shoot it. Now, thus far, I've only shot birdshot through it during this video. This gun is very light. I want to say it's about 5.5 to 6 pounds for a pump shotgun. Let me show you why that might be a little bit hard for someone who's a completely new shooter. Ow. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm just wearing a t-shirt. I've shot this gun a lot. During the winter, it's not as bad because I've got all this padding on, so it's not a big deal. If you think I'm just a wimp, I've taken this out and shot with many other people. One of my family members is law enforcement, and they shoot shotguns all the time. They have their own shotguns. They shoot them all the time. Even with just birdshot in it, he's like, that kicks quite a bit. If you're thinking of using this as a home defense gun, my recommendation for you is take it out shooting beforehand. Make sure you know what you're getting into. Don't leave it for your small little petite wife to shoot without any experience. Obviously, if they get some experience, they can do it fine. Don't expect your kids to be taking this out all the time and shooting. And again, I'm not trying to sit here and say that they can't shoot this gun, but it's just too much. What I am saying is that the recoil is pretty heavy for an already fairly large recoiling round. This is a 2 3/4 inch, 7.5 shot shotgun shell. This is a 3-inch slug. This is 1 1/4 ounce, and I've shot one of these out of my gun before. Guys, do me a favor, subscribe, because otherwise this just, I don't know if this is worth it, man. Woo, fire in the hole. Make sure you're subscribed. This has been shot a few times, but there's our 12 gauge hole. This is pretty thick and pretty strong metal, and it just busted through it like cheese. I'm telling you, 12 gauge slugs are something else. Guys, the rubber butt pad on here definitely takes off a good chunk of the recoil, but because it's so light of a gun, it's got quite a bit. So just something to keep in mind. Final thoughts on the Akkar Churchill 612. I think it's a pretty good shotgun. I think there are other shotguns out there in the same price range that would probably beat this out in most situations. But that being said, I don't think that it's a bad shotgun. If this was all you had, you would not go wanting. I've put several hundred rounds through it, if not 1,000 rounds through it at this point over the last 2 years that I've owned it. And I've never had anything like a light primer strike. I've had a couple misfeeds, but a lot of that has to do with technique. If you see one of these in your local gun store, don't discount it. If you can get a good price on it, I think it's a great shotgun. But keep your eyes open for other things like the Maverick 88 or even steps up from that. If you can get them for a good price, get those instead. One of these days, I hope to trade up for something like that. But until then, this is gonna do me just fine. So do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what gun I should review next. I'll see you next time.